90% of people don't fail because they're lazy or stupid. They fail because of one tiny time mistake they repeat every single day without noticing. It doesn't show up on your calendar, but it quietly kills your dreams, your energy, and your confidence. In this video, I want to show you that mistake through a simple story. And as you listen, I want you to ask yourself a hard question. Am I doing this too? Because if you are, you're not alone. But you are paying a price you can't see yet. Upon a time, in a mid-size American city, there was a guy named Alex. Alex was 27, worked a decent office job, had a small apartment, a Netflix account, a smartphone full of apps, and a growing list of regrets. Every time someone asked how he was doing, he gave the same answer, half proud and half exhausted. "Man, I'm just so busy." He was always rushing, always late, always behind on something. He told himself his problem was time. If I just had a few more hours in the day, he thought, I'd finally get in shape, learn Spanish, finish that side project, clean this place up. One Sunday night, after scrolling through other people's amazing lives on Instagram until his eyes hurt, Alex opened his notes app and designed the perfect week. Wake up at 6, gym, healthy breakfast. Deep work, no distractions, read before bed. On paper, future Alex was unstoppable. In reality, Monday morning, Alex hit snooze 3 times. He rushed out the door late, grabbed a sugary coffee, checked 3 social apps before he even reached his desk, and the day slipped into the usual blur. By 10 at night, he was exhausted and numb. So he opened Netflix, told himself, just 1 episode, and looked up to see it was after midnight. Another day eaten, and he couldn't even say by what. The wake up moment came at his company's annual review. His manager sat across from him and said, "Alex, you're smart and people like you. But in 3 years here your growth has been flat. You always seem busy, but your results don't show it. If nothing changes this year, we may have to let you go." Alex walked out of the office with his heart in his throat. For the first time, "I'm busy" didn't feel like a badge. It felt like a lie he had been telling himself. That night, he called his older cousin Mark, the one who always seemed calm, ahead of schedule, and strangely free, despite running a small business and having 2 kids. "How do you do it?" Alex asked. "I swear I'm busy all day, but nothing important moves." On the other end, Mark was quiet for a second, then said, "Tell me about your average day." Hour by hour, Alex walked through it. Alarms, emails, meetings, coffee runs, social media checks, random YouTube, texting, a little focused work squeezed in between interruptions. More scrolling, more streaming, more drifting. When he finished, Mark said something that hit harder than his manager's review. "Alex, you're out of attention." That's the mistake 90% of people make. They let their day be chopped into tiny pieces, so no hour is ever deep enough to matter. He continued, "You wake up and immediately hand your time to other people's priorities, notifications, feeds, random messages. You multitask yourself into burnout, then say, 'I had no time.' When the truth is, you had time. You just never gave it a chance to go deep." "So what do I do?" Alex asked. Mark said, "For the next 7 days, I want you to run a simple experiment, not for the rest of your life. Just 1 week. First, block 90 minutes in the morning before you open a single app, email, or website. Second, choose 1 important project you keep postponing, and during that block, you work only on that. Phone in another room, notifications off, no multitasking. As king, the rest of the day can be messy if it has to be. Just protect those 90 minutes like your life depends on them, because it kind of does." Alex didn't totally believe it, but fear of losing his job was louder than his doubt. The next morning, he woke up, grabbed his phone out of habit, then caught himself. He put it in the kitchen drawer, made coffee, opened his laptop, and spent 90 quiet minutes fixing a broken system at work. By the time the first email came in, the hardest part of his day was already done. That afternoon, his manager walked by and said, "Hey, did you touch that system? It's finally running smoothly." Alex just shrugged and said, "Yeah, I had some time this morning." Day after day, he repeated the experiment. Sometimes the work was exciting, sometimes it was boring, sometimes he slipped and checked his phone, but he noticed immediately how those just 2 minutes shattered his focus for the next 20. By the end of the week, something strange had happened. He was less tired, even though he was doing more meaningful work. 90 focused minutes had done more for his career than 9 unfocused hours ever had. When he called Mark to share the results, his cousin laughed and said, "Welcome to the 10%. You didn't magically get more hours. You just stopped giving your best hours away to low-value noise." In that moment, Alex finally understood the mistake that had been running his life. It wasn't simply procrastination or even social media. It was living in permanent reaction mode, letting every notification, every impulse, every small request cut his day into useless pieces. He had been treating his time like trash while expecting his life to feel like treasure. So now, let me ask you the same uncomfortable question Alex had to face. Are you really out of time, or are you just out of focus time? Do your days feel full, but your life still feels empty? If you looked at your own 2 jars, important time and wasted time, which one would be heavier? The truth is, most people never ask that question, and that is exactly why most people stay stuck. But you don't have to be one of them. Start with 1 protected hour tomorrow and see how different life feels. When you finally own your time.